Hello everyone, my name is Zainab Hamid and today I'll be discussing the moon landing conspiracy. So have you ever looked at history and ever wondered whether it's true or not? Have you ever read a story and told yourself that it's impossible to do in such little time? Well, today I'm going to be questioning history and I'm going to prove to you that the moon landing is fake. I'm going to start off by stating why NASA would fake the moon landing and some of the evidence that I found to support that. So why would NASA fake the moon landing? According to Villard in his study from 2004 to 2007, NASA would fake the moon landing because of the success the Soviets had in the space race. On April 12 of 1961, the USSR sent the first human to space named Yuri. Also, Sputnik 1 was the first satellite by the USSR on October 4th of 1957. And in that same year, they launched Sputnik 2 to orbit with a pupper. And not only that, but they also sent the first woman into space named Valentina. So America was losing the space race and was very behind. There was another aspect of it, which was technology. So space race is a hard thing to do, and in order to finish the race first, it requires more time. The US was very behind the race, and the USSR had already sent living organisms to space. So how did they accomplish this within 5 years? Then we have the Van Allen belt, which is this picture right here. The Van Allen belt is a radioactive belt that until this day we still have trouble getting through. The Van Allen belt is a radioactive belt that measures 100,000 to 600,000 kilometers of pure raw radiation. And in this belt, if any human being encounters it, they will melt right away. So NASA argued that they found a vulnerable spot where they can travel without getting much radiation. There is a phenomenon called the electron rainfall that turns the two belts into three. So either NASA is holding a secret technology that we don't know about, or they actually never reached the moon. And this was all found in a research done by Swami and his team of researchers in 2013. So now that we've talked about space race, let's dig into the political aspect of it and the astronauts. So President Nixon was in office during the space race, and during this time, many people believed that he had something to cover up. And no one knew what he was covering up, but they came to that conclusion, and this was in Perlmutter and Dahlem's May 2008 research. Last but not least, the astronauts' behavior triggered people to believe that the landing was fake. Neil Armstrong refused to hold any interviews regarding the moon landing, and another astronaut, Buzz Aldrin, said that he can be interviewed but sued if the interview got out. So the next thing that we will talk about is kind of the mockumentaries, the photos, and the conspiracy books that came out afterwards. So President Nixon made Kubrick, who is a film producer, take a fake shoot of the moon landing and broadcast it as if it was real. NASA also let Kubrick use $1 million Zeiss lens that was made for NASA to shoot a movie scene. Years later, NASA officials came out, and whenever they were interviewed, they said that this was fake and it was meant to be a hoax, but it came out to be real. So this plays with people's minds, and it made them question things and distrust the media, and this was all according to Taylor 2007. Now, the reason they distrusted the media was because whenever they broadcasted it, they said that it was real, but it was fake all along. There was also unexplained objects and foreign objects in a couple of the pictures that NASA claimed that they were smudges of bad handling. But you can really see those objects in the pictures, so they are either aliens or stage props. Also, manipulating an image can be easily done. Some of the shadows that were seen were not parallel, which meant that there was another light source. And we know that the moon's only light source is the sun, so something else was being used during the shoot. There was also a higher angle that the photo was shot at. In Armstrong's position, it believed that it showed the moon's shape, and people thought it was a paper mache prop. And this again put our technological advances into question, and it made us question whether this was to cover up something bigger or if it was just fake. And this was according to Grimes research in 2016. There were also many books that came out, such as We Never Went to the Moon in 1974 and The Dark Side of the Moon. They both talk about the moon landing being fake, and it made people stop trusting the media and political authority. And again, in Taylor's research in 2007, he talked more about the political aspects of it and how people really started distrusting the media from everything that was occurring. So, in conclusion, now that I have shown you that the moon landing is fake through all the evidence and all the research that I've conducted, um, I hope to have persuaded you that this was all planned and not real. I hope that I change the way of your thinking and that you go out to explore the world and actually start questioning everything that goes on, because we can't believe everything that the media tells us. And thank you so much. Have a great day.